Spawning in the bottom right-hand corner as the blue Terran player representing Team Last Resort. It's match point. Can he take this best-of-5 series 3-1? We have Simba. Going up against him in the bottom left-hand corner, representing Team Infused, taking... Oh, pardon me. This guy is on match point. It's 2-1, but I had the scores mixed up in my head right now. Our Zerg player, he is up a game, and winning this one would give him the 3-1 win. Can he do it? It is Infused Sabre.
Indeed, they are, and look at that. Already a command center on the way. Command center first. Actually, denying building that command center there for a little while was Sabre, and that was it's a good thing. I mean, delaying that command center as long as possible is obviously a good thing to do, and he might be able to delay it some more because no, he's not. The second SCV is going to come out and be able to chase that away. So command center first, going to be responded to by double hatchery first.
It's a greedy build, Lillian, because he actually skips out the 11-11. It's like a refined version of the 11-11 build. All right, guys, so now he's actually going to go 3cc before barracks, and he's going to get double gas. Wouldn't that be amazing? Like, in response to this, the Zerg goes triple hatch, and there's an SCV scout and sees that, so in response, we go 3cc.
And then continue until you have 6 bases and you haven't not built a spawning pool or a barracks at all. Just
exactly.
Six
but then
hatcheries.
but then the Terran goes into like 6 factory Hellion opening. That kind of hurts.
Ooh, yeah, that's gonna be bad. I don't know who would be better off actually. I mean, 6 hatcheries is gonna give you a sick amount of income, sick amount of production, sick amount of larvae. Well, we'll have to test that sometime, Drozar. We'll have to test that sometime.
We will indeed. We have the factory going down now, and the last remaining drone is attempting to do a bit of damage. It's on 2 hit points. It's so close. Unfortunately, this Marine... Oh, then the Marine actually spawns the wrong side of the ramp, but the Troll supply depot goes down for the last time in this Zerg's lifetime, as the Scout completely annihilated. Now, in the meantime, Simba only just going into Scout Sabre's base.
Yeah, a bit of a late scout. Is he gonna get to see that third base? Yes, he has the SCV, sees the creep.
Tiny bit of creep.
Yeah, tiny bit of creep has been seen, so he will be able to deduct from that a third base is present, is gonna see the gases get taken in the main base. So all in all, a very good scout for Simba, because no queens were out yet, and not a lot of zerglings out on the field either, so that scout was able to see everything that it wanted to.
Yeah, super macro builds coming out of both of these guys here. The worker supply, as it currently stands, is 32-24 in favor of Sabre. Of course, Simba does have those double mules he can work with as well, and he's actually going for 2 factories. So I am led to believe that he's actually going to be going for a double factory blue flame Hellion build, unless, of course, he goes straight into those Hellbats. There was mention of... Lillian, help me out here. I remember reading like a few days ago that the next mini patch is gonna make it like an upgrade again, but I don't know if that's happened yet. It hasn't, has it?
It has already been implemented.
Already been okay, cool.
A few days ago, so the Hellbats now require an upgrade to be researched on a tech lab, and they still require that armory. So no armory in sight, which leads me to believe that it is going to be a Blue Flame Hellion strategy, and you can still produce Hellbats, you just cannot transform Hellions to Hellbats before you get that upgrade.
Nope, that makes sense. It's because I haven't played HOTS in like the last day or two, so I couldn't work out the exact date that they implemented it. I hope they have enough time to test that out before the game goes gold, though, man, because making changes like this so soon before the beta ends, they risk like they might not have too much time to tweak it. I wonder what their plan is.
Their plan was, it is so ridiculously OP, we need to change this now, because contains that Terrans could do with Hellions, like contain a Zerg on 2 base for a long time, and then when that contain was about to break, they would transform into Hellbats, a few tanks would come along, and they would win the game.
No way, man. Like, Terran is so underpowered because Hellbats can't shoot it, yeah? It's like, we've got nothing against mutants when you have Hellbats on the field. It sucks. So they need a bit of a buff, or like maybe when they transform, they get an air upgrade, like Goliath style.
That would be so cool if you could torch mutants in the air.
That's right.
And then not overpowered.
And then, ladies and gentlemen, the game would be balanced. Meanwhile, though, we have a massive hit going down at the third base location. A decent number of workers killed there, 8 by these couple of Hellions, but roaches promptly drive them away. So a bit of damage done, but not too much. And Sabre needs to connect his bases by creep.
Yeah, he needs to do that desperately. He still does not have a single creep tumor out on the map, which is a little bit sloppy, really. Making an extra queen, just dedicating that to creep spread and being able to have an extra queen for transfuses, defense against drops, defense against anything, really. Being able to transfuse spine crawlers is always a good thing to have.
Now, this is an interesting move. Normally, when attacks finish, that's a really, really nice time to drone up. I'm sure you'd agree, Lillian. But the thing is, the Hellions didn't actually die there, and we had, like, the world's most massive round of drones come out from Sabre just now. So he is risking some Hellions, and potentially Hellbats, of course, because it's been a while since, although he hasn't actually got the armor yet, but it could have been fast Hellbats. He might have been able to come in for round 2 and roast off a couple more. I think this gamble's going to pay off on this occasion, though.
Let's see, are we gonna see that transformation servos? How do you pronounce that?
Servos, I think. Yeah.
Servos, yeah. Transformation servos.
If you're like super posh, but I don't think we can get away with that.
I think your vocabulary is like 10 times better than mine, so there's gonna be words in here and in England that I don't.
Cool, man. We could like no, man. You just make words up. That's the key. But anyway, we have another Hellion attack going down at the natural expansion. He is killing off a couple more workers, though. But the number of workers that have been produced since meant that he's still on 67 workers versus the 55. So Sabre is actually completely okay off of that. And this time, he has killed off all of the Hellions. So he is going to be safe for another couple of minutes.
Yeah, well played there by our Zerg player, who's actually doing a really good job. That 3 hatch before spawning pool really giving him an edge and giving him an insane drone count. And guess what? He is going to be going for some drop play. It's going to be an Overlord dropping action this time. He really loves his roaches, this guy. He utilizes them in different ways, but the core is the same. Roaches, pure roaches with upgrades.
Yeah, I hear roaches apparently are a good unit, and it looks like Sabre going, well, if I've won 2 games with roaches, then why not win 3? I can't really argue with his logic here. It looks like we have a couple of Overlords being harassed here at the 4th base, and amusingly, they're actually not moving away, which I find very bizarre. Maybe he doesn't want to give away the fact that he has Overlord speed, but they're not on hold position either, so the Viking knows that the Zerg is at Overlord speed right now. I wonder if he's going to prepare for drops accordingly. Here's a Queen coming in towards the 4th base. He should be able to chase the Viking away.
Yeah, should be able to chase that Viking away. That last Overlord, I think it's going to die. Yeah, it will die. It's actually going to fly right into the Viking and be like, take my life, please. Oh, that Overlord, man. That wasn't necessary. Did you see that? So unnecessary.
It's a sad existence being an Overlord, man. And that Overlord was like the saddest Overlord ever. And here we go. These Overlords are being moved around into the center of the map. Roach is now getting in. That's a lot of them moved up there. In the meantime, let's take a look at what Simba has to prepare against this. He has a lot of tanks, and he's actually defending his 3rd really well. But the problem with this is that the drop might be able to go straight into the main. Can Simba reposition himself in time? And will he see this? He has a Marine at the Watchtower. He sees a whole bunch of Overlords moving out. Is he going to react? Oh, we have roaches coming into the 3rd as well. Okay, the Marine dies. Has he prepared for the drop? Can he see it? He's only making missile turrets. Oh dear.
He's actually moving more siege tanks down. Okay. He had a siege tank in his main base. Now they come up the ramp.
Okay,
They're starting to get into position. Come on, Hellions. You need to go for the Hellbat mode. He does have that available right now, so he could do it.
Oh, and the drop's been abandoned. Oh, he's actually moving back to the 3rd base location. He's trying to figure out how many siege tanks there are. 1 Overlord's worth of roaches go down. He wants to drop them directly on top of the tanks if he can. And he's dropping a few in the mineral line. I can't imagine that's the best way forward. Oh, but here we go, flanking at the 3rd as well. And these tanks might actually go down. He's constantly dummying Simba, not allowing him to siege his tanks up anywhere.
No, he's making it really difficult for the Terran player to have a good reaction. And here come the Overlords again. They could drop on these siege tanks and kill them pretty easily. There's so many units here. Oh, a full Overlord. No, he manages to get all the roaches out before the Overlord dies. And he should really drop all those roaches in one place. He's dropping them so far away, they cannot really even attack the siege tanks.
Oh, and there's actually 1 Overlord still with roaches in it as well. Okay, I'm gonna say it. This drop was really weirdly executed, man. Like, I like the idea of the Overlord sort of going to the 3rd base, coming back to the main, you know, so on and so forth. The back and forth was really, really cool. But you still have to drop them all either on top of the army at once, or you commit to some sort of attack. They spend way too much time in the Overlords.
You're right. They spent a little bit too much time in those Overlords and didn't really do much. We got 7 workers on this refinery there for a second, but he's going to be pulling them off. And the roaches, of course, are going to continue to come. But let's face it, Eurosar, this game is pretty much over.
Yeah, exactly. We now have 160 supply coming out from Simba, and a lot of that is a really, really nice mech. And Sabre knows it. GG's out. The Roaches in their plush, luxurious overlords not wanting to leave, unfortunately, costing him the game. Those ensuite bathrooms did not pay off.